Wait for a few more people to join. Um, so if you weren't able to do the exercise during the week, I noticed that a few people weren't able to do it. You can see that the roof model, I just put a copy of it onto Blackboard. So if you didn't do it, that's okay. You can go ahead and get it. And there's still people joining, so we'll wait a little bit. So if you go to Blackboard, the content tab, you'll find the roof model that we finished with last week. Or I guess I could ask, is anyone on the call not have the model? Mine is more complete because I just want to show you what we're going to cover tonight, but does anyone not have it? Oh, so far so good then.
I
I
just
guess
downloaded it from the content tab.
okay, perfect. A couple more joining. I'll give it a couple more minutes. Oh, it's just 6:35. 1 minute. What? Right. I guess we can get started. So I'll start with sorry about last week. I did not realize that it was a wellness day and there were no classes. I guess that's one of the casualties of not being at Slocum Hall. It's so if you weren't there, of course that's absolutely fine. I wish I knew. I would have jumped in on that. I wouldn't have had class last week had I known that. So it's all good. I was still able to do a session and record it. So I guess that's a positive thing of teaching it in this modality. That at least we didn't really lose a class for it. But if you weren't able to, again, if you're just joining, if you weren't able to do the exercise, which is acceptable, I have it on Blackboard, so it's in the content tab. If you go to roof model, you'll be able to grab it and download it. So basically, what I want to do tonight is, so if you got up to this point, we have our roof in. Was anyone not able to get their roof in? I know that you don't have this dormer or this dormer. That's okay. We're going to do these two types of dormers tonight, and we're going to also do a sloping roof. and we'll do kind of a roof by extrusion, so kind of a free-form roof. So does anyone not have this model? Actually, I'm gonna undo all the way back out this model. This is more or less what we have. Does anyone not have this? Okay, good. So what I want to do is, you might have seen the dormer on the side here. That's what I want to do now. And I know that it had been a while. You know, I'm having you guys all do an assignment, and a lot of you are going to have a roof like this. So it's understandable if you don't have a roof like this in a project if you've already started it. But what I want to do is I want to put a dormer on the side of this roof right here, and we're going to do that. So what I want to do is I want to go down to the roof level. So in the project browser, under floor plans, let's double click on roof. We're going to go to our roof level. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to edit the roof footprint to add that dormer here. So if we just all go ahead and select our roof, and it's easier to select it if you notice down here on this little toolbar, there's a bunch of little icons. There's an icon right here that says select elements by face. Make sure that there's not a red X there like I just added to it. Make sure it looks like that if blank without the red X. So at that point, you can hover over the entire roof and you can select it. Now, if you click on Edit Footprint, right here, select the roof, click Edit Footprint. Okay, now as we talked about last week, each one of these lines has its individual slope. So we could change the slope, and I think a student did have a greater slope here, and it moved the ridge line down here, which is kind of a nice effect. Sometimes you want that. But in this case, we want to deal with this line right here, right? So go ahead and select this line. No, I'm sorry, hit escape. So what we need to do, hit escape a couple times, is we need to split this line right here. So so what you want to do is you want to go to the modify tab. Okay, so we're on that. So right here, there's a little icon called split elements. Right here, split element. Or you could type SL. Just don't hit enter after you do it. Right, so I'm going to click on split element. Make sure we do not have delete inner segment checked. I want that definitely unchecked. Now notice that your cursor turns into a little X-Acto knife looking thing. So if you hover your cursor over this line right here, I want to move your cursor down till it says 40 feet. And once it says 40 feet, I want you to click that point. It puts a little dot there and it splits that. Now I want to come down this side, hover your cursor over this ridge line and move your cursor over till it gets to 40 feet. And then we're going to go ahead and click that point. And then we'll hit escape a couple times. So now we have 3 distinct lines. Did anyone not get that? Excellent. So the next thing we need to do is, like I said, hit escape a few times. We're going to select this line right here. And I want to make sure we uncheck define slope. I do not want that to define a slope. So we're going to uncheck defines slope. And we're going to hit escape a couple times. Now, on the mode panel, notice we have this icon here called slope arrow. We're going to use this a couple times tonight, but here we're going to use it twice. So the idea is we're going to slope an arrow into the midpoint from the left to the right. We're going to do one from the right to the left, creating kind of a ridge. Okay, so let's click on slope arrow. Let's pick a point right here. And let's make sure we find the midpoint. It might be difficult to do, but remember, if you type in SM, don't hit enter, just type SM, it'll jump to that midpoint, and then you can pick it. Now we're going to click slope arrow again. And we're going to pick a point from here all the way over to here. We're going to hit escape a couple times. Anyone not get that? Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just pick a window. Notice that I can pick a crossing window if I start from the right to the left. And if we move over and just come down and hover over these two arrowheads here, it's going to kind of highlight them and we can select them. Just make sure you only get the two little arrowheads like this, and we're going to pick it. And over here in our properties, it should say specify height of tail, da da da. Okay. So instead of height that tail, we're going to click the drop down here. We're going to select slope. We're going to select slope. Now down here for the slope, instead of 9 on 12, let's make it 6. So just swipe over the 9 and just replace it with a 6 and hit enter. So slope is default level of tails, default height offset of tails 0, and the slope is going to be a 6 on 12. Does anyone not have that? Excellent. Now let's see if it's going to work. So go ahead and click on the finish edit mode button right here. Click on this button right here. And we're all, you can escape a couple times. Anyone not get that? This is where it could get tough. Not going to know. Ever got it? Excellent. Hit save just because it's a good idea. Go to a, there you go. Go to a 3D view right here. Now, if you, again, hold down your shift key and hold down your wheel button, you can spin the model around. Okay, and we can see this wall here and the roof. Mine is not attached. So if you remember how we did the end here, we selected the wall and we attach it. We're going to do the same here, okay? So we're going to go ahead and, let's go ahead and hit escape a few times. Select your wall. Now notice that we can click attach top base. So we're going to select attach top base. We're going to select our roof. Now your wall should attach to the roof. Did anyone not get that? Excellent. Hit save just because it's a good idea. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to go back down to the roof level. And what we're going to do, if you remember when I was kind of swinging the model around right when we started, I had like what's called an eyebrow dormer here. So it's an irregular shape. We're not going to do anything too crazy. It's just going to be kind of an arc. But there's a couple things that we need to do. So we're going to create a roof by extrusion to do this. So in order to do that, we need to be in an elevation looking straight at it. So in your roof floor plan, if you zoom in on your elevation right here, this is our west elevation. Go ahead and double click right on this little pointer here. Double click right on this. I'm going to open up our west elevation so we're looking straight at the side of our building. So go ahead and select one of these levels because my levels are kind of jammed in there a little bit. So go ahead and select like this level right here. And notice that we can kind of click on here and pull it, and we can drag it over just by clicking on that little grip right there. So you see it's got a little grip. If you pause your cursor, it'll say drag the extents of the level. So we're going to pick it, and we're going to drag it over to the right. And then we're going to hit escape a couple times. We're going to hit save. Just because. I know I hit save a lot. I'm paranoid that way. All right. Now, what we want to do is, you see you got a roof button. There's a little pull down menu right here, which is roof by footprint. So we're going to click on the drop down here. Right. And I want to select roof by extrusion. Roof by extrusion. Go ahead and click on that. Okay. Now for our work plane, because the problem is we're saying I want to create an extrusion, right? But Revit doesn't know where we want it, right? It doesn't know if it's 1,000 miles away, right? So we need to pick a plane. So with pick a plane clicked on, let's click OK. Now I want to zoom in kind of, and notice if I hover right over the face of this, what's called the fascia, we'll see that it will kind of highlight the whole thing, right? So I put my cursor like right on the very bottom point of this. I know it's kind of hard to do, so I'm just going to click. I'm going to pick the edge right here. I got it. So my level is going to be roof. I'm going to click OK. Right now on my work plane panel, I want to click on the ref plane button. Now for my offset, I want to go with 8 feet. So we're going to type in 8 right here for the offset. Now I want to draw a line. So I'm going to pick a line right from the ridge right here. I'm going to come straight down. I'm going to pick a point right here. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pick the same point. I'm going to pick a point right here. I'm going to draw it straight down. But that reference plane is going to go in the wrong orientation. So I'm going to hit my space bar once. Notice that, and it's going to flip it over to the left. And we're going to pick a point right there. So now we have 2 reference planes. Did everyone get that? Okay, hit escape a couple times. Anyone not get it, I should say? Okay, now I want to click on ref plane again. On the draw panel, we're going to click on the pick lines button. For the offset, let's type in 8. That'll be 8 feet. We're going to offset this reference plane up. We're just going to offset it up just like that. And we're going to hit escape a couple times.
So I have a question.
Yes.
My model just says saving in edit mode, and it says changes made in the editing mode will not be saved. The project will be saved as it was before you entered this mode.
Yep. That's okay. Just don't, if you save it in, like if you can see the red X, oh, I'm sorry. If you can see the red X and the green check mark button,
No, I can't
that
see
means
it.
you can't save it right now. What's that?
No, I can't see it.
You might have, like if you accidentally clicked off of it, like if you click like another tab, it might be kind of hidden. So there should be a modify create extrusion tab that you're gonna have to click.
It still says that. It'll like keep saying it even when I get out of the editing mode.
Oh, even if you click the red X? Like, it's hard to tell because I can't really see what you're.
Yeah, wait, could you just go back to the step of making, so I got the vertical lines. Can we do the
Okay.
horizontal ones again?
Oh, sure. Okay, yeah. So I'm just going to get rid of this one right here. Now, on my work plane panel, I'm going to click the ref plane button, the reference plane button right here. Now, on my draw panel, I'm going to click on the pick lines button. And for my offset, I'm going to type in 8 feet, like that. Now, with that selected, I'm just going to hover over this reference plane. I'm going to offset this upward 8 feet. Like that. Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Perfect. No problem at all. Now, let's hit escape a couple times. Okay. Now, all we need to do is just draw. We're going to draw just a simple little arc right here. Just a simple little arc. So on the draw panel, let's click on the arc button right here. Start end radius arc right here. Now, before we do it, though, I always forget. For the extrusion end, I just want to make it a small little amount because it's kind of odd, but if it kind of merges into the roof, it'll screw up the process. So for extrusion end, let's just type in 3 inches and hit enter. Just like that. Now, again, on the draw panel, we're going to click on the arc start and radius button right here. Start and radius arc. And we're going to pick this intersection here. Oh, their hand up? Yes.
Yeah, I just had a question. What is changing the extrusion into 3 inches do?
Well, it's weird because if we leave it, it extends it way too far into the roof. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to physically join these two roofs together. So it for some reason, it makes it hard to do that. So I'm just making it like 3 inches. I'm using 3 inches as a random number. I just want to make sure it doesn't merge into the other roof. It seems kind of odd. I can understand why you would have a question on that, but that's why I do it.
Okay.
So we're going to pick the first point. Now we're going to pick the second point. And we're going to come up this direction here. And let's just type in 12 and hit enter for the radius. And then we're going to hit escape a couple times.
Could you repeat this again, please?
Sure. I'm going to just do it from the beginning. So I'm going to click on the start end radius arc button right here. And I'm just going to make sure my extrusion end is only 3 inches. I'm going to pick this intersection here. I'm going to pick this intersection here. I'm going to move my cursor up in this direction. I'm going to type 12 and I'm going to hit enter. And I'm going to hit escape a couple times.
How come my 12 feet look different than yours? I'm confused.
Here, let's do it again. I'm going to delete that. Let's go ahead and delete the arc. Yeah, now on the draw panel, click the start end radius arc button. Now pick your first point here, like this. Pick your second point here, like this. Now maybe you got up a little high. Just make sure it's like around 12 feet. approximately. Now, if you just type in, like what I say, make sure it's around 12 feet, like just look at that little radius dimension, type in 12 and hit enter, then hit escape a couple times. Is that better?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Perfect. Now let's click on the finish edit mode button right here. Hit escape a couple times. Now it kind of looks funny because we're looking at it like in elevation, but if you go to a 3D view, you can see that there's this little arc that's kind of dangling in space.
Professor.
Yes, sir.
So I got everything. I just didn't catch what you would do after you made the arc. Did you exit out of the edit mode?
Well, what I did was so if you just wanted to click on the green
Oh, the
finish
green,
edit mode button
right.
right here. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
and then hit escape a couple times. Okay.
Yeah, I hit escape a couple times. You guys are probably sick of me hearing me say
Got
that.
it.
Okay. All right. We should probably save the model, which is a good idea.
It's okay if it's floating.
Yes, we're gonna have to now join the two together. So we're gonna join that arc with the roof.
Got it.
Okay. So kind of orbit around till you get to a 3D view, sort of like this. We're gonna zoom in on it a little bit. Now, what I want to do is I want to join the two together. So to do that, let me see here. You should have a modify tab. My resolution is really small, so I got to click on these two arrows, and I go to modify right here. I'm going to click on modify. Okay. Now, I want to go to, where is it? Right here. So there's this little button that's right here. Whoop, right here. This is the join, unjoin roof. Go ahead and click on that. Join, unjoin roof.
Sorry, my
No, go ahead.
my computer glitched. I just missed it,
Oh,
like right
that's it.
when we were starting that modify part.
No problem. So are you in a 3D view?
Yeah, I'm in the 3D view.
Perfect. So we're going to click on this little icon right here. This is join, unjoin roof. Let's go ahead and click on that. Join, unjoin roof. Now, if you look down in the lower left-hand corner of Revit, it kind of tells you what to do. So it says select an edge at the end of the roof that you wish to join or unjoin. So let's zoom in on our little arc right here. Okay, and we're going to click on the inside arc right here. We're going to pick that line right there. Now, if you move your cursor over, we can see we can select this portion of the roof. So go ahead and come over here and select this portion of the roof, and it's going to extend that dormer over to the roof. And anyone not get that? Good, hit the save button. Okay. Now what I want to do is we got to add some walls here. This is kind of, floating. That's not gonna really work out, right? So let's go back to our roof level. Under floor plans, let's go to roof. So double click on roof. Now it's kind of hard to see. So what I want to do is I want to set our view to be wireframe. So down here on our view control toolbar, go ahead and click on this icon right here. This is visual style. I want to change it to wireframe. Go ahead and select wireframe. Just like that. Now we can just see the outline of the dormer a little bit better. Okay. So with that set for wireframe, let's come over to the architecture tab. Let's click on the wall button. Right, and it should be the basic wall exterior brick on CMU. That's the same one that we have below. So we're going to have this wall selected current. So now let's just zoom into here. I'm going to draw this wall. I'm going to start from this endpoint here. So I'm going to pick a point here. I'm going to come all the way over to here. I'm going to pick this point. I'm going to come straight up to here. I'm going to pick this point. I'm going to come all the way back to about here, and I'm going to pick this point. I'm going to hit escape a couple times. Now, unfortunately, the wall doesn't magically join to that dormer. We have to kind of force it to do that. Did anyone not get those walls modeled in?
In my model, I can't see the like offset of the curve, only when I hover over it, like in blue. Is that fine?
It is fine, but if you set, like if you click on this button right down here, this is the visual style, set it to wireframe, and then it will show up as wireframe. It'll show
I
up
see it now. Thank you.
And you don't have to. If you got the wall in there, I'm sure it's fine, but I find that it makes it easier. You're welcome. Okay, so let's go to a 3D view. Let's click on the default 3D view button right here. Of course, you know how to do that. And it's just kind of silly, right? It's poking up past the dormer. So if you hold down your control key, and if you select this wall, and then this wall, we're going to select all three of these walls. We're going to click on Attach Top Base right here. On Attach Top Base, we're going to select this dormer right here. We're going to hit escape a couple times, and hopefully that worked. Sometimes it doesn't work perfectly. Did anyone not get it? Great, excellent.
Wait, I'm sorry. Could you repeat that one more time? The
Yes.
training part. Thank you.
You bet. So you're at this point right here?
Yes.
Okay. So with these walls just kind of sticking up, if you hold down your control key, select this wall here, this wall here, and this wall here. We're going to select all three of them by holding down the control key so we can select all those walls. All right. Now we're going to go to Attach Top Base. So click on Attach Top Base. Now we're going to select this curved roof right here. So if you pick that, the walls are going to attach to that dormer, and we're going to hit escape a couple times.
Okay, thank you.
You are welcome. Let's click Save. Okay, but the problem is it didn't really cut the roof out. And if we kind of pan around and look underneath it, you'll see this is sticking through there, right? Sometimes the walls do this. We're going to wind up attaching the bottom walls to the roof. But sometimes if there's a floor here, you see that, right? You probably seen like a bedroom that's up in the attic. You walk in, all of a sudden it's pitched, but yeah, you can walk straight into like to a window. That's a dormer, right? So they're up there to create extra space, essentially, or they're for aesthetics. They just look nicer, you know, when there's a dormer in it. But what we want to do is we want to cut this roof out around the dormer and the walls. So let's go back down to the roof level. Okay. And on the architecture tab, down here on opening, notice that there's a special opening we can cut in that roof specifically for a dormer. So let's click on the dormer button. So let's click on dormer opening. Click on dormer opening. Now let's select the roof, the big roof, the one we want to cut the opening in. So we just hover over that big roof and we're going to pick this point right here, just on that roof. Now we should just be in this mode. The only choice we have is to pick roof wall edges. That's the only choice we really have.
Professor?
Pick roof. Yeah, yes, go ahead.
Can you repeat that? My internet cut out and it kind of
Okay,
froze,
no
but it came
problem.
back.
I've noticed a few people have been getting cut out. So what we want to do is we're going to now cut an opening in this main roof. So on the opening tab or on the opening panel, you'll see that there's a dormer button right here, dormer opening. Go ahead and click on dormer. Now, with that selected, we're going to hover over this main roof right here, and we're going to select it. Did you get it?
Yep.
Excellent. Now, with pick roof wall edges, what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in here, right? And I want to pick this inside line right here. It's going to select the dormer. So pick it right here. Pick this wall right here. Pick this wall on the inside face. Pick this wall on the inside face here. Then hit escape a few times. We should have 4 lines that need to be trimmed. Now to clean these up, what we want to do is on the modify panel, we want to click on the trim extend to corner button right here. Trim extend to corner. So go ahead and click on that. Trim extend to corner. Okay. Now go ahead and select this elliptical oblong line. So go ahead and select that right there. Select this line right here. 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 To this one here. Pick this one here. To this one here. Now I kind of did that fast. Did anyone not get it? We should have now perfectly trimmed basically a box. I'm going to do it again just real quick just to make sure we've got it, right? So if you got it, you can just sit tight. If not, hit escape a couple times and click on the trim extend to corner button. Now the objective is we want to pick the lines that we want to keep, right? So I'm going to click on this kind of arc looking line here first. I'm going to pick this line right here. Notice that it trims that corner up. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go right around. I'm going to go this one to this one to this one, and this one to this one, and I'm going to hit escape a couple times.
Wait, it didn't work for me.
Which,
The trim when I do
what's that?
when I use that command, like it won't. I don't know. It just won't do it. Should I? It doesn't
So-
auto join the ends.
So you have it looking like this right now. Does it look
Yeah.
like mine with them? So click this button right here, trim extend to corner. Is this the one you're picking?
Yes.
Okay, pick that. Now you want to make sure that you pick this line somewhere back in here. Don't pick it like in here. Pick it back here, like where mine is.
Okay.
Pick it once. Now we're going to come over. I'm going to pick this line right here, like in the middle of it somewhere, like right about here. Go ahead and pick it right here. Now it might be deceiving. Like if you zoom in on it, it should be kind of cleaned up in the corner there.
Yeah, that one's fine.
Perfect. Now I'm going to hit escape, and let's just do it again. So I'm going to hit escape. Now let's click on the trim extent to corner button here.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to select this line here. Just make sure it's like in the middle of it somewhere, like way back here. I'm going to pick it here. Now we're going to pick it like right about here, like down from here. Did that work?
Yeah, that worked.
Excellent. Now let's keep going. I'm going to pick this line here, and then this line here. And I'm going to pick this line here, and then this line back up in here somewhere.
Oh, okay. I got it now. Thank you.
No problem. It's kind of a feel thing with Revit, you know, so it just sometimes takes a little while to get used to how it wants to work. Okay, now let's see here. Let's go ahead and click on the Finish Edit Mode button right here. Go ahead and click on that. And hopefully it didn't blow up on anybody. Did anyone get an error? Good, good. We can change our visual style from wireframe. So if we click on where it says wireframe here, let's change it to hidden line. Now let's go back to a 3D view. Now, if we hold down the shift key and the wheel button, we can kind of pan around so we can see underneath it. See how now there's a hole in our roof?
I have a question. Shouldn't we have done it to like the outer edges of the wall so it doesn't do that weird clipping thing?
Kind of, but what happens is this is more realistic because these walls are going to bear on the roof if we're going to do what we're going to do here.
Oh, okay.
Right. So if not, you're right. I would have trimmed it to the outside of those walls. But in this case, I'm gonna clip my walls to the roof. So that's kind of where I want it because this little triangle of roof would actually sit on the roof. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So and you might see it a little better too once we do this. So if you hold down the control key, all right, I want to select this wall right here. And I want to select this wall right here. Now I want to click Attach Top Base. I want to select the main roof right here. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Undo, click undo. I just flaked out. I just did the wrong thing. Click undo, I'm sorry. Undo. Hit escape a couple of times. There's a button that there's a button that I forgot to tell you to click. Sorry. Hold down the control key again and select this wall. Now select this wall. You can let go of the control key. Click Attach Top Base. But this time, instead of top right here, see that we can click on Base right here. Click on Base. Now go ahead and select this wall right here. I'm sorry, select the roof right here. I'm losing it. Select the roof. And it should clean it up. Sorry about that. Did anyone not get that? If not, it's totally my fault. So now we have this dormer. Everyone get it? Anyone not get it? Excellent. Let's hit save.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have like a little opening on the right edge of that dormer. Like there's a hole.
Like over here.
No, on the front face, I guess. Like on that, yeah, on that side, but literally at the right edge.
Oh,
Like
right
there.
here.
Yeah, right there's an opening.
It might be the end of that wall, or maybe your walls just didn't get drawn correctly without being able to see it. Were you able to get the walls to attach to it? You just have like a gap there or something?
Yeah, everything is good. There's just a little gap there.
I'm thinking maybe just the wall needs to get like dragged over. This is where I wish I could just walk over to your computer,
Yeah.
you know. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to have people submit their model tonight, not because I'm going to mess with it. And this is Kevin, right?
Yeah.
I'll just look at yours and I'll just give you a shout. Kevin. What I've learned is I need to actually write your name down because I have zero attention. I have zero memory. So I'll take a look at it afterwards and I'll give you a shout. I'm gonna actually tomorrow. I'm gonna contact everyone if I can. There's 56 students, so I'm gonna try to reach out to everyone. I haven't really done that yet, so I'll fix it. I'll look at it, Kevin, and I'll get a hold of you.
All right.
Okay. Let's all hit save. Oh, actually, I'm gonna have us delete the entire roof right now. I wonder if I can. I don't want to do that. Let's all go to Kevin. Why don't you do a save as? Hit save, do a save as, and then just open up another copy of the roof. And I'll just have you post this one. I won't make you post the current one. Does that work?
So I go to save as and then
Yeah,
just change the name of it.
Yeah, just change the name like to 2 or something like that.
Okay.
Close that one and then just open the other one, the first one you had. And then I'll have you submit this one, not the complete one, because I know you. I know you now.
Okay, I'm opening up the original one right now.
Perfect. Okay, so this is gonna hurt, but I want us to delete this roof. If anyone wants to just preserve this, you can do a save as, and then open another copy of it, and then delete the roof. If you really want to hang on to this roof, I've had students who had a hard time letting go of this one. So I'm gonna just go ahead and delete this roof. I'm gonna select it. I'm gonna hit delete. We're gonna get some kind of errors that says detached targets. Go ahead and click on that. Just detach them. Get rid of these 3 walls. Hit delete. Just select them. Hit delete, delete, and then delete our cool little dormer. I know it's kind of destructive, but
When I opened up the original file, like the gap isn't there anymore.
really,
Yeah.
that's so bizarre.
Yeah. Could you go through
Well,
the
Revit's been known to just magically fix itself. No, I'm kidding. It's never been known to do that. It's weird, and generally, Kevin, what it is, if you just sometimes if you just click on the end grip and nudge it over a little bit. Because remember on our model when we did the floor planning, we had that long arced wall.
right?
Some of ours joined, some of them didn't. We had to just kind of pull it in. It probably just kind of I don't know fixed itself, but it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you go through
I see there's good.
deleting the roof again?
Yeah. Just go ahead and delete the roof, delete the dormer, delete those 3 walls. And is there a hand up?
Yeah, Professor, I got an error saying that the highlighted walls are attached to but miss the highlighted targets. So,
Yep, that's fine. Once you delete that roof, you can just click detach targets.
okay.
Yep, and then delete everything else. Revit didn't like that. It didn't like us deleting everything, I guess.
Okay. I deleted everything.
Okay. All right. Now the idea is, so if everyone remembers, a few weeks ago, was it last week? No, it was a week before last. We had a flat roof, right? And then we pitched the insulation. In this case, we're going to have a flat roof as well. However, we're going to pitch the entire roof in one direction. So let's go to the roof level floor plan like we were on. So go to roof. Okay. Now let's click on the roof button right here, roof by footprint. This time, let's make sure defines slope is unchecked. I want define slope to be unchecked.
Sorry, mine
Go ahead.
says lowest level notice.
Make sure that you're in the roof level. So under floor plans, make sure you double click on roof right here, and that we're on the roof level.
I'm on roof, but now it doesn't let me.
Are you sure you're not in a ceiling plan roof level? Make sure it says floor plans and then roof.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, so what we're going to do now is we're going to click on roof. Yes, is there a hand up?
Yeah, Professor, I kind of clicked on the cross on my properties window. How do I get that back?
What's that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I closed my properties window and I don't know how to get that back.
There should be, like I'm going to close out of cancel. I'm going to cancel my edit mode. Let's see here. So if you just over in the white drawing area here, if you right click and make sure that properties is checked on.
Yeah,
I should bring it. Good. Yeah, I don't know why they put these little close icons here. You can't do much without these two dialogues, so I don't know why they allow us to close them out.
Yeah.
So let's click on the roof by footprint button. Now let's make sure defines slope is unchecked right here. Define slope, I want that unchecked. Okay. Now for the roof itself, I don't think a pitched roof will really work. Let's go with steel truss insulation on metal deck. We'll grab this one. Seems good enough. EPDM. Okay, now for the overhang, let's make sure that's 2 feet. It probably is by default, but we'll make sure the overhang is 2 feet. Okay. Now, notice that if I hover over this wall, this is like we did last week, or if you had watched the recording, what we're going to do is we're just going to hover over this wall, but don't click it. Notice that it will kind of offset it to the left. If you hover over that wall, hit tab once. Don't hold it down like that. Just hover, tab. Once you see that the entire outline is selected, pick it. And then hit escape a couple times. And we've got this thing outlined. Did anyone not get that? Cool. That sometimes trips people up. Okay, now we want this to slope. There's a couple ways we could do it, but if I want this section to be higher than this section, but I want the slope to go kind of diagonally across it, right? So if we were to select the slope on one of these, it would work, but it would only go in one direction. I want the slope to go like kind of in this direction. So to do that, we're going to click on slope arrow again, like we did before. Slope arrow. Now I want to click on, it doesn't really matter now, but I'm going to click maybe this endpoint right here. Move my cursor down, and I'm going to pick this endpoint right here. I'm going to hit escape a couple times. Anyone not get that? Excellent. Now let's go ahead and select this slope arrow. And in my properties, we can do a couple things. Maybe you know how high it is at the tail or the head, or I want to just kind of click on height at tail, and let's change it to slope. Okay. Now with it changed to slope, let's change our slope to, instead of the 9, just swipe over the 9 and type in a 2 on 12. You can click apply. On the mode panel, now we can just click on finish edit mode and hit escape a couple times. Now let's go to a 3D view. And we should have a big, giant sloping roof like that. Does anyone not have that? That's great. Excellent, 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 excellent. So what I'm going to do is, now that's kind of the same as when we picked the walls to add the roof. If you hover over one of these walls, don't select it, just kind of hover over it, hit your tab key once, and then select all of the walls, right? So I'm going to hover over it. I'm not going to pick it, like my hand's up here. I'm going to hit my tab key once, and I'm going to select all of my walls. And we're going to do what we did a few times. We're going to click attach top base. And then we're going to select this roof right here. I'm going to pick the roof. I'm going to hit escape a few times. Now the wall should all kind of go up to that roof. Did anyone not get that?
Could you repeat that?
I sure can. Did you get the roof in?
Yeah, I have the roof.
Like that? You got the roof. Perfect. So now the objective is, at this point, is to connect our walls to that roof, right? So if we hover over one of these walls, just hover over it, don't select it, just hover over it, hit your tab key once. Now all of the walls are highlighted. If you now pick it, it should select them all. Did you get that?
Yep.
Perfect. Now with all the walls selected, on modify wall, click attach top face. And let's just select our roof right here. And it's going to attach all of our walls to our roof. Now we're going to hit escape a couple times. Did you guys get it? Did you?
Got it.
Perfect. Let's hit save. Okay. Let's see, what time is it? 7:32. I think this is, I don't know how much I want to push on you. I think this is probably a good break point for the evening. I know that it's been, everyone's been pretty swamped with everything that's going on, midterms and all of that. So I haven't really pushed your own model. I mentioned it in the email, but let's start working on it. What I'm going to do is, like I said, tomorrow I'm going to start emailing just everyone individually, asking you how you're doing and all of that. I've been laying off you because I understand the workload that you're under and the odd semester, and I'm kind of, to be honest, in the same boat. I've been a little flaky this semester myself. My work is also getting pretty insane. I actually had to cancel the class last night at the engineering school. I regret having to do that. Luckily, with us, I can sit down and do it. But like I said at the beginning of this class, my main objective is for you all to learn Revit. That's the objective for me. And like I said, unfortunately, I do have to give you a grade. So when I email, I don't believe, be like, oh man, this professor's emailing me. It's a health check. You know, I want to see how you all are doing. And that is why I have you submit these models. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go on Blackboard. You all are familiar with this. I'm going to create assignments. And I'm going to create an assessment. You guys watching me struggle with this. This is my struggle, and it is real. I'm going to grab a assignment. Here we go. I'll call it this week's model. That's what I called the other one. What week? I was going to say 330, 3-30, 2021 model. That's much less confusing. And I am going to now, I have to give it 10 points. Don't worry, I'm not grading it. I'm going to make sure that you can all submission. I want to make sure you can all unlimited attempts.
Are we submitting this one with this slope, this just single sloped roof?
Yep. Just to throw it in there again, so I can get by next week, I can get a gauge on who might be slipping. Seems like everyone is good. Like I said last week, I totally flaked. I had no idea that there was no class, and trust me, I would have jumped on that too. Had I known, I could have used a wellness day. But I just want to make sure we're all good. It's such a weird, abstract way to teach. And these, I'm not grading these. I just want to get a gauge on who's here, you know. So don't stress over it. It's all good. And I will actually, I'll move this one up too, just so it's at the top. And I'll plop it there. And are there any questions or comments?
So we submit this model and not the one with the normal?
Nope. just hit save and submit this one. This is just a wellness check on my, I'm not grading it. I'm gonna look at your name. I'm gonna see that there's a check there. I'm not opening the model. I just want to see that it's physically there. And to be honest, this has actually helped because sometimes people lose their model and they can go back and download it. So sometimes it helps.
For
So that
the
being said, go ahead.
for the roof footprint assignment, what would you like for us to upload for that one? Was that for last week?
Yeah, that was just for last week. I'm sorry.
So, do you still want us to upload something to that or no?
Nope, it's all
Okay.
good. It's in the past. It's in the past.
All right.
I take it week by week. You're good. And these are just checks. The grade and what I will check will be the model that you do on your own. These are just incremental uploads just so I can just make sure I'm doing my job to some degree as your professor. You guys are done with midterms, correct? Is everyone done with the midterms?
No.
Oh, how much more do you have to go?
I've got submissions on the 7th of April and then 14th of April.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. Let me, so next week, geez, and the week after. All right. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
And I have a presentation for senior design on Friday, but that's all that I have.
That's not too stressful, is it?
It kind of is. I mean, for
I
at
know.
least for our project, we're designing Wegmans. We're doing a total site design. So we're doing like the
Really?
foundation, we're doing the actual Wegmans design, the structural design, and we
Oh,
kind of want to model it on BIM to
yeah,
have a visual of it in the end. But
yeah.
yeah, we started with the initial footprint of the building. Like we figured out where
Mhm.
to place it, the dimensions of it, and now we're going to
Oh,
proceed
great.
onto the structural analysis, figuring out the sizing of the beams and whatnot. But it's a
That's
little
fantastic.
stressful. It's a little stressful, yeah.
I'd say. Yeah, if you want to double that with this project, you can, if you want to do it in Revit, I'll be more than happy to help you. I mean, obviously your presentation's Friday, so
Yeah.
catching it a little late now, but well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you out.
Yeah, I think I would love to meet and talk about my project. So I'll reach
Perfect.
out to you with an email and we can schedule a meeting.
Sounds perfect. And that goes for everyone else too. So good. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
Uh, sure. Any more questions? All right. I'll let you go for the evening, and that's good. You can go home now. So, bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait, thank you.
Thank you, Tina.